Hello, welcome to Beyond the Boundary. This is the preview for the second Elimination Final.
It's North Melbourne versus Essendon Saturday night at the MCG. Last time they met, it was round 1 at Etihad Stadium. Essendon won that one by 39 points. The votes given in that game, Watson got the 3, Hooker got the 2, and Heppel got the 1. In the last 5 encounters, North 3 wins, Essendon 2 wins. Very close there. Michael Hurley will play his 100th game, and Mark Bagley will play his 50th. Forgot to write that one down. We'll take a quick look at the finals path. This is on the second half of the draw, obviously. The winner of this game will face the loser of Hawthorn Geelong in the second semi-final. And the loser of this game, that's it. They're done. Season over. We'll start with North Melbourne. They defeated Melbourne by 30 points on the weekend, boys. What do you make of it?
Melbourne gave them a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, Melbourne were in the lead there for a little while, so it wasn't the easiest cup of tea for North Melbourne, but overall I thought their performance was very good. They came back and they closed the game out pretty well.
Yep.
Some players that we can talk about. Sean Atley, this is a man that has been hyped up by North for quite a while now. Was a high draft pick.
He went at 95% disposal efficiency.
Correct, from 21 disposals. And this is exactly what they wanted from him. He's a line-breaking half-backman or a wingman. And that's what he did on the weekend. He hit his targets, he broke the lines, and he's been doing that for a couple of weeks. And like we've seen with a lot of players, they're hitting their straps just when it matters.
Yep.
And that's what's happening with this man. Kane Turner.
He's become a bit of an X factor for them. You don't really expect the youngest player in the competition to come in and have an impact.
Well, they're calling him Kanye Turner at North Melbourne because he has a similar kind of spelling. But I love this kid because he's the youngest player in the AFL.
Yep.
He's the skinniest player probably. He's just, sticks and bones, this kid. He's not got a lot of meat on him or a lot of height.
4 goals on the weekend. Every time I see him play well, I just imagine him going to school on Monday and you go, 4 snags, mate.
You look at his frame. You look at his frame and you think, this kid's not much.
Yeah.
But the way that he attacks the ball, you'd think he'd have the body of a Dangerfield or a Selwood.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not sure if he keeps his spot on the side.
Oh, well, you'd think after a 4-goal performance.
You'd think so, but they've got a number of players coming back in.
Yep. He also played a valuable performance in the game against Adelaide the week
Correct.
before.
Yep.
So,
Kick 2 there. So I think he's just a gun player and he offers so much. The thing is, his lack of size is not a liability.
Yeah. No.
Because he tackles hard and he gets big contested marks too.
Josh, speaking of players who offer a lot, Andrew Swallow, he had 8 tackles, 10 clearances and 8 inside 50s on the weekend.
His clearance work in the last month has been out of this world.
I think he gets Adelaide. He had the last 4 clearances of the game.
And he had, I think, 7 in the quarter.
Yeah.
Which most midfielders finish with for the game.
Yeah.
It's just out of this world, the clearances that he gets.
Yeah.
He just finds space where there is none.
Does what he wants.
Well, I think part of that can be attributed to another man who's hit form in Todd Goldstein, who has been servicing him well, but Andy Swallow, the skipper, coming back from a big Achilles injury.
Yep.
He's proving that he's wrong.
Big Ben Brown, he finished...
Sacho
Bob. Finished with 3 goals,
gun,
1 score assist. Also took 5 marks. He's actually becoming quite a valuable target down forward for them.
Well, isn't he just a gun?
Yeah.
He's got the big 50 on his back. He looks, he's got the big shag ahead.
He's actually... He looks like this big lumbering, doesn't have he's got the turning circle of a cruise ship kind of thing. He's got that kind of frame. But then you watch him play, and he's actually quite agile at times. It's ridiculous.
He is. He uses his size to his advantage. I think he's one of those kids that early on he's accepted his limitations.
Yep.
He's not the kind of guy that you'll see chasing Cyril Rioli down the wing trying to run him down, but he's the kind of guy that...
In fact,
give his
a comparison I've seen similarities to Tom Hawkins in the way that he uses his body to his advantage to work his way around his opponents there.
Yes, definitely, and he's very useful around the ground. He had 16 disposals, Josh, but he had 3 clearances, but he also kicked 3 goals.
Yep.
So what that tells me is that he's not just a stay-at-home forward.
Yep.
He actually does push up the ground. He uses that fitness of his and he works hard. But a man that Josh has, I think earlier in the year, had a bit of a go at, but he's actually improved, and Josh will admit that, is Ryan Bastanak.
I'm a massive fan of him.
Yep. And the other reason you had to go at him was because you were disappointed that a player of his potential wasn't delivering.
Absolutely. I'm a man of consistency. That's all I want from these type of players.
Yep.
And Ryan Bastanak's one of them. Earlier in the year, we didn't see it. What?
But I think it's a great joke. I don't even know.
No, you're right. You're a man of consistency.
That's what I want.
Yep. You're right. I mean, that's why you support Ariel Steinberg. He's consistently poor. And so,
come on.
We'll get
on to that later.
Yeah, but you're right.
But
Continue.
Ryan Bastanak,
Continue.
15 disposals at 80% efficiency. He also had 4 score assists.
4 score assists and a goal.
Yeah, proving to be very valuable to the side. Nathan Grimer, I thought was great down back. He finished with 9 1%ers for the Roos.
Well, he's in doubt this week.
Really?
Him and Lockie Hansen are both in doubt with Nathan Greimer had a quad.
Yep.
And Lockie Hansen is a hip problem. So
That could be a huge blow for
Well,
them.
I actually think it's not that big a blow because if there's any team in the
disagree?
AFL that you would not want one of your big keys, if you had to choose one team to play in the AFL with one of your key defenders down, it would be the Bombers, in my opinion, because they're undermanned that forward line. Apart from big Jakey C
I guess it's
and
hard.
Joey D.
It's hardly ideal. I guess you're relying on the fact that Carlisle.
You're right, but
Anyway.
ideally they'd want both of them to play.
Yeah.
But you'd think Scooter Thompson would play,
yeah.
and only Greimer would go down. But that again is assuming he may play.
Anyway, we'll move on to the Bombers. Your boys, they drew with Carlton on the weekend.
Oh,
What
boy.
happened?
Yeah, well, it was a weird old game because Carlton got
Oh,
out to
yeah.
a 5-goal lead.
I think both
You
teams,
got out to a 5-goal
both teams had 30-point leads.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we kicked 8 goals to 1 in the second quarter.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm as frustrated as any other Bomber fan at the moment, seeing the inconsistency of the side within a game.
Yeah.
I mean, we were lucky to draw that game too early, and if Cameron Wood had a decent set of smarts, he would have punched that ball through. But
I was actually at this game,
Yeah.
and like I said, George, it was like you mentioned, it was just a confusing game to watch.
thanks for the phone call.
Sorry about that, but I think legitimately Essendon, in my opinion, played the better game. I think they sort of tailed away at the end there. But to be honest, you'd really want Essendon to win those kinds of games. This is not the ideal result you'd want going into a big elimination final.
Yeah.
Let me just stop you there. I'd rather a heartfelt contest like this than rather win by 10, 15 goals.
But on the other hand,
Oh, really?
Yep.
well, I can see where you're coming from, where you'd like a hard-fought contest, gets the players ready for
But that,
finals like that.
it has to get you a win, though.
But on the other hand, you don't want to, you don't want the opposition to sort of find you out when you can get a 30-point lead and then you can lose that 30-point lead.
I think what Essendon have exposed here is one of their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that is that even if we're 5 goals ahead, the style of game that we play, which is extremely, we take risks, we like to take the game on, it can cost us.
Yeah.
And North, they've almost shown their hand to North here. But then again, North have shown their hand by struggling against a side like Melbourne.
Yeah. Paddy Ryder, I thought was great, the big man. He had 19 hit-outs, but he also had 6 inside 50s. Got a bit carried away there. Worked really well through the midfield.
Oh, he's a gun. 2 goals, 2 score assists.
Yep.
He's pushing
What more can you
himself
say?
into a
What more could you want from a ruckman than what Paddy Ryder gives? In my opinion, he's up there with probably, if not the most mobile ruckman in the AFL.
I think he is.
Certainly up
Yep,
there.
well, he gets around the ground. He'll average about 15, 16 touches a game. He's
Yep.
good for a goal a game.
Yep.
He's a deadeye once he lines up for
And
goal.
an 87% efficiency on the weekend.
So he hits his targets,
Completely
He's
elite.
the best set shot at the football club.
Yeah,
That
alright.
goal.
Well, there you go.
Sorry, mate. Couple of players I want to touch on.
Yep.
Travis Collier. He was dead and buried at the start of the year.
Yeah, he was.
And he's worked himself into the best 22 comfortably.
Yep.
He's one of our most important players now with his run and speed. Joe Watson, 2 goals, 21 disposals, had 10 plus clearances on the weekend. He was absolutely fantastic. Loves playing North Melbourne, so I'm not sure who North Melbourne will put onto him.
I don't think it'll matter, to be honest.
I
He's
don't
just
think
a
it will
star,
matter.
so-
Last 5 games have not been very good at all. Probably last 6 even.
Yeah.
Essendon have really sort of hit the brakes, haven't they? I mean, you look at their last 3 games, they probably could have and should have lost.
Yeah.
Gold Coast, West Coast, Carlton, all 3, it was the other team's game to win.
Yeah.
And Essendon have been let off 3 times in a row. They'll really need a rally to win this.
Absolutely. Carlisle's a 50-50 chance at the moment.
So still not a guarantee.
Still not a guarantee.
What's wrong with him?
It's a hamstring on the very lowest scale.
Right.
Okay.
Hamstrings at any scale.
Well,
are
you'd
bad
think that
news.
he would be working the proverbial buttock off to get into this game.
Well, I went to training on Friday and he was. He looked to be running okay. He wasn't going at full sprint, but he was going at about maybe 60 to 70. So
I think that could also be that he's just taking it light before, the heavy stuff resumes this week. One thing I want to ask you, Josh, having seen the game in full, why is Jason Winderlich retiring?
stuffed if I know.
I have no idea why, because
Since a
of all the
terrific form,
retirees, he's probably up there with the Lenny Hayes in terms of he's still in excellent form.
Well, I mean, when he retired, the week he retired, he said, my body just can't handle it anymore.
Another pre-season.
Another pre-season. His body's, he gets up, he struggles to get up each and every day out of bed. So that says a lot. He's had a lot of trouble with his body. Just quickly before we move on, boys, we need more out of Brendan Goddard. He was very, very good against the Gold Coast Suns last week, but again against Carlton, he was nowhere.
Very inconsistent at the moment.
He's come to the Bombers to play finals, and here it is. So I'd like to see him stand up.
What I don't understand is he played a midfield role last week and he dominated, and all of a sudden Bombers thrown him into the forward line. What in the world is the logic with this?
No idea. David Myers is an absolute certainty to come back in. He was left out due to illness. Amonte, yep. He's been absolutely massive for us this year. His clearance work has been fantastic. That long-ranging left foot is just massive.
Kind of left foot.
Unfortunately, the man who replaced him as a late change, Orazio Fantasia, might be the man to go out for him.
All right, boys. Moving on to some of the key matchups in this game. Josh, what do you got for us?
I think the biggest one for me is Ryder versus Goldstein. I mean, we just spoke about Paddy Ryder. We spoke about Goldie in the North Melbourne preview.
Yep.
I think that's a big one for me. Whoever can get down their midfielders first. Ryder's very, very agile. We've just said that. If he can get forward, expose Goldstein, I think that's going to be absolutely huge.
Yep. I think Michael Hurley will be key. Who do you think he'll take?
I think he'll take probably Aaron Black.
Okay.
I think Carl Hooker will go to Jude Petrie if that was the direction you're going
down.
Hooker kept Petrie to just 3 disposals in round 1 and kept him obviously scoreless. So he has his measures, similar type of body. Hooks has been in absolutely magnificent form this year, so he'll be the man to go to Petrie for me.
You've also got Big Ben Brown to worry about down there.
Big Ben Brown.
Well, legitimately, he's
Brown.
He's had some great legitimate threat down there.
Absolutely. Well, Hibbert's been playing that third tall.
Correct.
Ben Brown might be a bit too tall for him, so I might reiterate back to that. Hurley might go to Ben Brown.
Yeah.
And I think Hibbert might go to Black.
Mm-hmm.
Black's a bit smaller than Ben Brown, so Hurley may go to Brown and Hibbert to Black.
Gives the option for both of them to change up their opponent there. Danaher for the Bombers.
Yeah, Scotty Thompson will get him for me. That's if Carlisle doesn't play. If Carlisle does play, I think
then
Thompson will go to
he's
him.
shooing to go to Carlisle.
And that might force Ferrito to come on to Joe Danaher, which I wouldn't mind happening, to be honest.
Jeez, really? both teams could really struggle this week because you've got Grimer for North and Carlisle for Essendon. You know, both teams aren't going to know which matchup until right at game time, which matchups they need to prepare for.
Absolutely. The reason I say that is because Danaher's got an excessive height advantage over Ferrito.
Yeah.
I mean, Ferrito's been used as a key defender, but he's only about 190 centimetres.
Yep.
So Danaher's got 11, 12 centimetres on him. So
yep.
he jumps at that ball. His
reach is
unbelievable. A few others I want to go through as well. I think the midfield battle will be huge. Watson, Stanton, Heppel versus Swallow, Cunnington, and
Greenwood, or even Greenwood.
And Greenwood as well.
No Harvey to worry about, of course, suspended this week.
No, he normally tears us up, so I'm pretty happy about that. The thing that worries me a little bit is when Zeeble goes forward. Zeeble's been very, very good when he goes forward in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think Hibbert will go to him, which will force us to restructure if Ben Brown's down there or whatever. Ferrito, if Carlisle doesn't play, is a perfect matchup for Paul Chapman, in my opinion. Similar type of body. Experience is about the same. Obviously, Chappie's played in a bit more high-profile games. But I think Ferrito would be the perfect man for him. Mark Bagley, if he does play, did cop a knock late in the game, a very decent knock as well, thanks to Brent Stanton. He'll go to Lindsay Thomas by far. The second ruck duel, Bellchambers versus Brown.
That'll be big as well.
Absolutely.
I think Bellchambers will probably have the edge there.
Yep.
Just because of experience, size, he's got a few more kilos.
Well, it's not just the ruck duel; it's a forward duel as well.
And that's what I think Brown will win.
Yeah,
I think Brown will win that forward duel, but I think the Bellchambers will take him in that ruck duel. So
and then again, I mean, I spoke about it in Port Adelaide, Richmond. The bottom 6, I feel, is just huge.
You're right,
because you talk about these high-profile players from both sides that can deliver each and every single week.
Yep.
These bottom 6 players have got to stand up if they want their team to win.
Yep. Moving into the prediction for this game, boys. Who do we think is going to win? I'll start with Vinay.
Boys, I have my wallet here, and the reason I have my wallet is because there are coins inside.
Yep.
And the reason I'm mentioning the coins is because I may as well flip one to figure out who's going to win.
Are you going to do that now?
I am not going to do it because I feel that would be an insult to North and Essendon supporters.
And probably the people watching this.
And probably the people who've watched this preview and expecting some kind of thought being put into the that would surpass that of a coin toss.
Yeah.
But having said that, a wise man once said that Brad Scott wakes up in the morning and he flips a coin. If it comes up heads, North play well.
Who was that wise man, Vinay?
And if it, I won't mention who, but
it was you.
Yes, and if it comes up tails, then they play poorly. So, but I have no idea who's going to win this. I'll be honest with you boys, I have no idea at all. Because if North had put away Melbourne, as I expected them to do, properly, then I would be banking them 100%.
Yeah.
But they struggled. and they barely got it done. Well, they won by 5 goals, but they were struggling for a lot of that game.
Yeah.
The midfield contest is even to me. The forward contest, I think North have a slight edge, but the defensive contest, Essendon have the edge. So, to me, this game is even. I'm going to go the Bombers because my instinct tells me the Bombers will win.
Yep.
And honestly, I think just the Bombers are probably the better side on paper, in my view. They've got some good quality players on there, and I think that do-or-die instinct that has helped them, that has literally dragged them through this season, is what's going to get them that win on the Saturday night. So that's what I'm going to say.
Well, I definitely agree with you that it's going to be a very close game. It's a very hard one to pick. I just think North Melbourne might have too many tricks for the Bombers. Possibly an underdone Carlisle. That's just speculation. But I don't. If he's had a hamstring complaint coming in, he might struggle. Jack Zeeble, I was very impressed with how he played against Adelaide the other week. Big Ben Brown's in some great form at the moment. I think North will get it done. 18 points, but with no real confidence. I would not be surprised at all if Essendon won this game.
Bombers haven't started well at all of late.
Which is surprising.
They've kicked just 10 goals in 5 games in their last... 10 goals in first quarters in their last 5
games, yep.
It's 2 a game.
Two a game.
Small,
yeah, which is not a good start at all. Bombers want to win this game, they've got to start well.
Correct.
Simple as that.
Yep.
Both teams, last finals outings, absolutely horrific.
Yep.
North Melbourne were flogged by 96, I think, by your boys.
Correct.
And my boys were flogged by the arch enemy Carlton by the tune of about 70.
So, not fond memories.
They'll be looking to do quite the opposite this week, you'd hope.
Absolutely. But I'm tipping the Bombers. The only reason I say that is if they start well. If they don't, I can't see us winning.
Yep.
Wow.
But I'm confident we can start well because we've waited 12 months for this after what happened last year.
Yep.
We've waited 12 months for this moment to come. And you can guarantee the players are going to be up and about.
Yep.
If they're going to be too up and about, they're going to be too eager, they're going to
overshoot the mark and they're going to...
Yeah, they're going to try too hard.
Correct. And that's what you don't want to happen.
That's what you don't want to
happen. You don't want them to overextend and lose the game for themselves.
Exactly right. But we start well, we win.
Yep.
We don't, we lose. Simple as that.
You got a tip margin for us?
7.
Brings us to the end of the second Elimination Final match preview. There's links to the other 3 previews and news and views at the end of this video. Josh?
Absolutely. Fantastic show, boys.
Well done, guys. Good luck to your Bombers, Josh.
Go, boys.
Good luck to your Cats.
We'll see you next time.